flag. I didn't steal it. But anyway, so let's begin. What's up, guys? This is Henry with Love, Life, and Relationships. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Now, today's topic is, what are your red flags in a relationship? And to help me discuss this topic today, we have Chris again and Ken. Now, to start off with the conversation, in my humble opinion, I have a couple of things that if I'm trying to get into a relationship, or I'm even, entertaining the idea of a relationship, there's things that I look out for. And the number one thing that I think is the inability to trust a person. If what they say do not add up, then that's a red flag to me. The next thing I would have to say is indecisiveness. Hey, do you not know what you want? Do you want a relationship or not? I can't really get down with that. Immaturity, and we all know what that is, so I don't need to go into details about that. But another pet peeve of mine is being materialistic. If you're all about name brands, oh, I have this, or I'm driving this, then it's just like, that's a red flag to me. The next thing is no time. If you have no time to devote to a relationship or even a friendship, then why am I even with you? And then that goes into my last thing, which is unresponsive to text. I text you and you don't respond back for hours, maybe even days. You know what? That is a huge red flag, not only for a committed relationship, but friendships as well. Now, those are my red flags, but of course, I brought other people today so they can tell me their red flags as well. So Chris, what are your red flags?
My particular red flag in a relationship is, dealing with a female is common sense. Like, I can't deal with nobody that don't have no common sense. Like, you gotta have an understanding about yourself. You gotta have an understanding about a partnership, a relationship. Like, it's more to the story than just having fun. You gotta have a friend. If you don't have your friend, then it's gonna be all bad. But she gotta have common sense. She can't be retarded. That's my opinion.
Would you say common sense is not common?
No, everybody got common sense. Like, no, you see it too often. Like, it's just, you just gotta be smarter than the average bear.
Okay. Sometimes I just feel personally myself that, everybody doesn't have common sense. It's just like, we would like to think that everybody has common sense, but honestly, they don't. And that's a good point to bring up, and one I didn't even think of. Yeah. Anything else that would be a red flag for you?
Just like loyalty. Like, if you ain't loyal, I can't deal with you because I'm loyal. And when I'm willing to take it for the relationship, you gotta be willing to take it too. It can't be one-sided. You gotta be 50-50.
So they should exhibit loyalty in the beginning and throughout the relationship, of course, right?
Yeah, you gotta take one day at a time.
Okay. Yeah. That's another good one.
You can't rush into nothing. Like, you rush into something, everything ain't good all the time.
Okay. Anything else that you can think about?
No, I'm married, so I really.
Okay.
I'm looking for it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So that brings me to, my next guest today, which is Ken. who has a lot of life experience as well, and that's why he's here today. So Ken, what would be your red flags that you will look for in a relationship?
Well, the red flag, one of them would be
Say out loud, he speaks out like that.
communication. Communication, right?
Yeah.
And are you emotionally stable and emotionally available for a relationship? And those are really important to me, you know, because a lot of times people get into relationships and still have wounds from the last relationship, whether 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago, and then you bring it in, you're still not like cleared of it, or got him out the system, or got her out the system, and then you bring all that other stuff in there, and it just messes everything up in the long run. And then you find out that, oh, I just couldn't do it, you know, I'm still in love with her, I'm still in love with him, or whatever, you know? So those are mine right there.
So do you find that there's a lot of people out there that not really over their relationships and they jump into another relationship, and therefore that's why that causes problems in their new relationship?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, in the dating world today, everybody's doing everything online, right? So watch this, you know. So, you know, and some people think that's fine, you know, just to date and build a relationship online, but you really don't know the person until you meet them face to face. Or, for instance, like if an ex called you and you see and you look at their face, what's my ex? And then they get to jumping around, and, you know, like they're nervous and stuff. You're really not emotionally ready to do this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So if you're not emotionally ready for this,
emotionally available.
Both of them, emotionally ready and emotionally available, and they're two different things, but they go hand in hand. You know? You can't have one without the other, but you can separate them. But the way the dating game is now, man, it's just you got to take the good with the bad, because nobody's really gonna be that honest with you the first couple of days or the first week you meet them.
Yeah.
So
I find that, today, you know, of course, it's all dating online and this and that, but it's just like nobody really knows the true person unless they meet, you know, in person. They see that actual chemistry. They see the facial expressions, they see if they have emotional intelligence or common sense. And it's just like you cannot find that out by being online and texting, because you know what? Sometimes it's lost in translation. The translation of text. Yeah. Are there any other red flags that you could think of, you know, that you would say, oh, this is something that I'm going to look out for if I see it? You know what? This person may not be the person for me.
Yeah, I don't like loud, obnoxious women. You know, they need to be seen. You know, or need to be heard. And need to be heard so they can be seen. I don't want to hear you coming before I see you coming. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like that. You know, give me somebody that's subtle, smooth, and you know, girly girl. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying?
I used to want all the smoke, but I can't get it no more. So
Well, you know what, Chris, that's an important part, because the thing is sometimes we want one thing and eventually it changes. And, you know, once you get the real deal, then it's just like, this is what I really needed in my life, and this is what I want. All of that was the hoopla, you know, ahead of time before I really got dedicated and I know what I wanted. So, yeah, I understand that comment that you made. So, yeah, that's cool.
You know, I have something else, Henry.
Okay.
I was thinking about red flags, right? Now, we're talking about red flags.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen somebody just like tell you, oh, there's just one thing I won't put up with, maybe that's a guy that smokes, or a guy that drinks, or whatever. I was just thinking. I've known females and guys to say that about when they picking a date, right?
Yeah.
But what changes that? What brings down your red flag? You know, is it money? Or is it that he looks good or she looks good and I'll put up with it and she'll change later? Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. Money will make you do some stuff that you don't want to do. Now,
Not me, you got baby.
Anyway, what I'm hearing is we all have red flags, but sometimes those red flags, they change. And it may not be a hard stop all of the time. It's just like Ken said, you know, oh, I won't date a smoker, I won't do this, but at the end of the day, you know what? I know some things you don't want, but you have to have an open mind to see what's really out there. And if you're not, or you don't have an open mind, then sometimes you miss out on a great opportunity. You know, and that's what I think. Yeah. So, any other red flags? Which you brought up a lot of great points that I didn't even think of myself.
I think that's about it, you know.
Okay.
And I have another one. I mean, we all have plenty of them, man. We can sit around in the tree and talk all day about this.
Yeah, you're right about
At
that.
a certain age, you should be able to express what you want. You know, at a certain age, you ought to be running the course with the BS and all that, the line. At a certain age, all that kind of stuff usually stops, right? We're talking about red flags, basically expectations, or if they don't meet this expectation, or that's a red flag, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I honestly feel like 90% of the time, the person that we're looking for and the person that we want to be with only exists in our mind.
Ooh. You're right about that.
Any comments on that, Chris?
I'm easy. I don't got a list. Like, y'all be having lists, man. I only need you to be one or two things. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, you know, parental advisory. But if you don't one or two things, it's a go for me. I don't care what you look like. I mean, kids, you got none of that.
And,
You got my back, and that's all I care about. I don't care about that other shit.
well, you are definitely the exception to the rule. But you know what? I can comment on what Ken said. I actually have this dream woman in my head. But in actuality, when I meet people, that's not the person I'm looking for. I'm looking for this real person who's loyal, who's down to earth, who wants me for me. And at the end of the day, I have all these red flags that I look for, but I can change at any moment the actual person that I really want, because you know what? That's just an image that I have in my head. You know, when it comes down to the real deal, it's different. That's a great point, kid. I like that. I like that. Wow. Anything else?
Yeah, so we're talking about red flags. I mean, some people see red flags, and like I said earlier, oh, I can put up with that. You know, I can work him out of that one. I can work out of this one. You know, she cussed too much. You know, I just take her to church and pray it off or something. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it. You let the red flags be your red flags, and let your nays be your nays, and you know, that's it. You know, stick by the red flag, but they're gonna change as you get older. Trust me. You know, menopause stuff. I mean, once you get older, stuff start changing. You know what I'm saying? So
it's only because your priorities change,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, oh, I need somebody to be this, this, and this, but
Right.
it's just like, oh, I want the real deal. I want somebody who's going to be loyal and who's going to be there. So of course, I can understand that. Yes, it's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
The different age brackets that you're at changes your perception of red flags.
right.
Yeah, I get that.
I bet you won't find no woman without no red flag. I just figured that.
Yeah, you're right.
Figure it out.
Because all of us have had experiences where a certain person did something to us, and therefore we look out for this. But at the end of the day, that was that person, and not everybody is like that.
Well, they all be.
Some people are similar, I get that, but not everybody has the same characteristic traits or the same bad habits.
Right.
It's just like, that was that person. I met one person who had this wrong with them, and another person I looked out for it, but you know what? In actuality, they turned out to be somebody else. So,
Lamar said all men to lose. Freaky Jesus.
well, Chris, did you have anything?
Oh man, just be careful and
All right.
sure.
Like I said today, today's topic were what are your red flags? And if you haven't subscribed to Love, Life, and Relationship, again, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And I like to thank my guests today, Chris and Ken, to give me their opinions. And until next time, hey,